It's not good for democracy for wealthy people to have so much power. It's just not, it's not legitimate.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Elon Musk bought Twitter last week. And Alabama bosses and other weirdos are extremely excited. They're extremely excited for being on a Twitter where you can say the N-word, but you can't be mean to your boss. Because that's the kind of Twitter that Elon Musk would create if he could. So that's great.
Yeah, that about says it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of wealth that these people have in this country is, I mean, we should take it from them because there are better things that can be done with it than sending a billionaire to the edge of space. But also for reasons like this, so that, a properly motivated this properly motivated wealthy person just bought themselves a seat on the board of one of the most important public forums in the country. What? It's not good for democracy for wealthy people to have so much power. It's just not, it's not legitimate.
When they can single-handedly reshape the media landscape. I mean, and this is a person who has repeatedly violated Twitter's own policies, someone who's repeatedly committed violations of the National Labor Relations Act as well as SEC regulations on Twitter.
Right.
And my understanding, at least based on reporting from Means Morning News this week, is that he even committed an SEC violation in this purchase by not disclosing it soon enough. But, don't hold your breath for some sort of accountability.
Yeah. But, it is... And everything that I'm saying goes for like Jack Dorsey or the other owners of Twitter, for Zuckerberg over Facebook, for China over TikTok. Like these people should not have so much control over the conversation in the United States. Like it's illegitimate. It's illegitimate. And so we should take their power away from them. They shouldn't have it. They should not. They should not have that power. But the people that see Elon Musk as a free speech warrior, why do they see him as a free speech warrior? Why are they excited for a Twitter that has Elon Musk at the helm? It's because they believe that he will defend their right to, on Twitter, say racist and bigoted and reactionary things. And maybe people should be able to say that, but maybe, I don't know. People should be able to say, like, I don't think that we should throw people in jail for being racist. I don't think that we should throw people in jail for being bigoted. There's a certain amount of, like, Nazis need free speech too, but Elon Musk is not concerned with freedom of speech for working people. And that is the freedom of speech, the free speech fight that reactionaries who have taken up the mantle of fighting for free speech over the last several years, that is the real free speech fight in this country. That's the free speech fight that is even happening at Tesla. I mean, we covered a couple weeks ago the More Perfect Union reporting on how people have been fired for organizing a union. People have been disciplined for organizing a union. People have been fired for speaking up about racism in the workplace. Tesla. Let
some Tesla workers tweet about their working conditions and their bosses, and to see how Mr. Free Speech comes to their aid.
Yeah.
You're so right that the whole debate around freedom of speech
it's so distorted because
really
the conversation is
out of touch with our reality as working people.
The conversation is all about whether or not a millionaire has his book listed on Amazon or a billionaire has a Twitter account or not. When these people represent such a minority of what people are materially facing when it comes to their right to express themselves in this country. Because it is, infinitely more. If you could find a graph last year of all the people who were fired, and what does being fired mean? Being fired means you lose your, you could lose your house, you could lose your health care, you could become homeless. Being fired, all the people who were fired for speaking out about discrimination, for organizing a union, for just because their boss had piss in his Cheerios that morning for no reason at all.
Think about Chris Smalls, who was advocating for COVID safety protocols, and first thing they did was quarantine him and nobody else around him. Okay, he figured out something was up, and as he escalated, he was fired with a phone call. A man who had spent 4.5 years, dedicated his life to that company. That's the reality of freedom of speech in this country.
If you put a graph of all of those people next to the graph of all of the free speech stories that get circulated on right-wing loser media, the second bar, I don't even think you could see it. But that is what the conversation is focused on. And that's because they don't want you to think about all this other stuff, because if you think about all this other stuff, you're going to be pissed off at the boss, you're going to be pissed off at Republicans, at Democrats, at corporate executives, at politicians, instead of being pissed off at, immigrants or, gay people on Twitter. Because that's who they want you to be pissed off at. They want you to be pissed off at the gays or the immigrants instead of the bosses, and that is that's why we want to do everything that we can to recenter the actual to bring people back down to earth, to reality about what is actually happening with people's right to speak freely in this country, because the most people face restrictions on their right to freely express themselves in the workplace, not on Twitter or not on Facebook. And the restrictions that they face in the workplace have much more serious ramifications. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.